Hello, Tangerine Cat. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
What have you been up to today?
Just we made some music.
Okay, great stuff. I have specific questions regarding your music, mainly your latest track, House of Cards, House of Shards even, exhibits a profound anxiety, which is an honest reflection of the global zeitgeist. Can you pinpoint certain elements that contribute to this result? That is, if you find that assessment agreeable.
I don't think that it's connected with something global because it's mostly about my personal experience and my experience as a survivor. And it was about my dream that I saw maybe 20 years ago. So it was about, yes, of course, it was anxious time, but not in these times. It was in Ukraine, and it was very bad times for Ukraine. And I just thought how to survive in these times. So this is about this. Yes, it's full of anxiety, but maybe it's connected in some way for someone. When people listen to it, they find connections because it's art. But
Sure. And how about you, Paul? How do you feel about how, at least in my interpretation, it seems to fit in very, very snugly with what we're going through right now in terms of a global anxiety?
I think I would partially agree, like in the sense that a lot of people are feeling anxiety about a lot of things that they maybe weren't feeling anxiety about. And possibly a lot of people have a connection with these kind of feelings. So maybe not the actual facts and the reasons behind this anxiety, but maybe people can connect with that emotion quite strongly, I expect.
Sure. We spoke off camera briefly about the genesis of the song coming from a visual idea, a video. Could you tell me more about that, guys?
Yes, of course, it was like 20 years ago. I had a dream. I had a lot of nightmares, but this dream wasn't a nightmare because I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and through dreams, I can see what is in my head. Do you understand what I mean?
You can access things that
yes.
You can't normally access.
Yes, because they're hidden from me. Because I have and this, as I can interpret this dream, it's about my personality that split into two parts because of my trauma. And I can't remember some things from my life, some events from my life, but one part can remember one thing and the other part can remember the other thing. And it was a dream. Then I go to the house, and there are a lot of different rooms. And я иду по лестнице вверх.
So I'm going up the staircase.
And на каждом этаже.
And on every floor.
There are different rooms, and I went to these rooms, and there are like furniture from the past and different objects from the past and from the present, and they're mixed and they're very old, mostly. And чем выше я поднимаюсь вверх,
and the higher I climb,
тем больше просветов в комнатах, в стенах комнаты.
The more like the cracks in the walls are bigger.
И в последней комнате вообще нет стен.
And so there's more and more light coming through, and in the last room there's no walls at all.
You can see it in the video where see. И я захожу в эту комнату.
And when I go into the final room.
И я вижу перед собой горизонт, море.
And I see the horizon and the sea.
Yeah. Wow, I feel like you've given me like the keys to like some big riddle. I'm gonna watch it again, having even more an understanding as to what you were saying. So
yes, it was like a riddle for me too.
Yeah, of course, of course. Okay, so Mark Fisher's Ghost of My Life is one of the collected essays that's given me a deeper appreciation of music's relationship to culture. Are there any particular theorists that have impacted your process?
I think mostly our process impacted by my life experience and my life experience living in Ukraine, because this country was under different разных стран.
Different. It was under different countries, so it's like colony of different countries.
Different empires, for example, Russian Empire, and then Soviet Union, and art always were connected to the culture, и всегда искусство, оно как бы, часто способствовало возрождению культуры.
And art often was the key to the birth of culture.
Возрождение.
To the coming back of culture.
In Ukraine, because of these things, and I was an activist from 10 years old, I can say, and so this is why my experience and connected to тому, что музыка связана с культурой.
That music is connected with culture directly.
And particularly with Ukrainian culture. And but also we have influences, for example, from Georgian Armenian film director and artist Sergei Parajan.
Yeah.
Did you hear about him?
I already know about them through you. So thank you.
Yes.
He invented his own style in his art and his filmmaking. It was like poetic cinema, and at these times the only accepted style in Soviet Union was socialist realism. And when he invented this style, he was persecuted and also for being homosexual, and he was in Gulag. And his art, his films, которые очень сильно связаны с музыкой.
They're very deeply connected to music as well. His films.
And his poetry, они очень сильно нас повлияли.
They had a very, very big influence on us.
Maybe the biggest. And through this poetic cinema style, he talked about political things, about cultural things, about psychological things, about politics in Soviet Union in general, and in Ukraine, because he lived in Ukraine for quite a long time, in Armenia, in Georgia, and he uses very beautiful language of emotions.
It definitely sounds like something that I really want to check out in a more profound way. Where would you recommend a new fan of that kind of cinema should go? What film should I start off with?
Yeah, our favorite, The Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors.
Okay, sure. I've recently got into a filmmaker called Maya Darren, who was an activist and a filmmaker. And they had so many beautiful things to say about how something non-linear and poetic can lend itself to the cinematic form quite easily. Like if you look at very, very old films back in the 20s, they would have a wide shot of almost like a theatrical stage view, because their understanding of film was completely, I wouldn't say polluted, that sounds a bit negative, but totally taken over by the fact that the only medium they could think of that was like it was theatre. And of course, you don't have to film in that way. You can do so much more. So, but yeah, I shall check out more. But we've gone way off subject. Let's go back to the band. So your combined struggles have played a significant part of your outlook and arguably have gifted your work a unique perspective. Do you have any particular view on pop culture's usual presentations of the usefulness of tragedy in the life of the artist? It's a long question.
I can say something, or you can say something.
Please, yeah.
This is like I have a problem with this idea in a lot of ways, because I feel like no experience is just one thing. So, and life cannot be just suffering, and life cannot be just happiness. And you can't say you have to suffer to make art. If you just suffer, you won't do anything. You'll just go and crawl away somewhere in the corner and do nothing. So this is everyone has to have a balance of things in their life, and we do. And I'm not an ascetic person. I don't, like to sleep on beds of nails or anything like that. But I think
you'd all like to know.
I don't think that helps me to play music better or do something better. But I feel that as a necessity, we have this experience, and it's good to put your experiences and all your emotions into music, and not just one. So it's very good to use these things, but I don't like the idea of making it like something very romantic, that you have to go through all these terrible struggles to.
Yes, I think it's there is a lot of romantification, and I think it's like you kind of talk in images because it's easier for me. It's like you are building house. It's very difficult to build house if you have nightmares and suicidal thoughts every night, and if you haven't material, and it's better to build house if you have these materials, and maybe обычно это не получается.
And usually it doesn't work.
But медиа, поп-культура сделала из многих травматиков successful people, сделала.
But maybe pop culture has made a lot of people with trauma, made them successful.
Like successful personalities, they made them like this. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, you mean they created?
Yeah, they created
the
image of successful traumatics, people with trauma. But it really my trauma and my health conditions really hinder me to create, and really hinder me to донести это к людям.
To bring what I want to say to people.
And если что-то, я хочу сказать, если этот дом получится.
Yeah. So if this house
получится построить.
You managed to build your house.
Что очень редкое явление.
Which is quite rare.
То он будет, конечно, диковинным. It will be a very interesting, unique, and weird, and maybe very beautiful. Но все равно это будет дом над пропастью.
But it would still be like a house on the edge of a cliff.
Sure. Wow, so comprehensive. I'm looking forward to watching this back again. There's so much you've had to say. I must move on. At the risk of dismantling the words of their mystique, please, and in your own time, tell us more about this lyric from your latest song, House of Shards. And the lyric is, lost in the maze of unbeknown parts, where is the exit? Too many guards.
This is, I already said about this dream, and this is because when you go to these rooms and when you see this different furniture, different objects, you feel lost, and like you want to find an exit, and it's like different parts of you, as I already said, that remember different things. And they can connect these things with each other. And the purpose, the idea is to find connection. And to find, and if you find connection in your brain and you can find connection with yourself and with your purposes in life, with your hopes and with your happiness. So this is like amazing, all these things in this song, in this dream. And like too many guards, and guards, it's like your trauma, and it's like other parts in your brain которые не хотят, чтобы насчет этого connection.
Who don't want you to find this connection.
And because there are a lot of воспоминания о плохих вещах, грустных вещах.
Because there's a lot of memories of bad things.
And your brain doesn't want to remember this.
Sure. And in a way, this probably comes back to an earlier point, but society doesn't necessarily think it's particularly useful for you to have to do that. It kind of just wants you to clock in and clock out, not necessarily investigate and understand these different elements of your life, right?
Yes, of course. And
yeah, wow. This has been great. I need people to know when this song is coming out. So tell them.
Song is coming out on the 7th of October. And the premiere of the song is going to be on the 6th of October, postprint.com. And then it will be available on the 7th for streaming and everywhere.
Awesome, awesome. This has been great. I really do look forward to talking to you again. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.